Hi everybody, welcome back to Yehusha's Glory. This is the second part of Revelation, the Sefer Kisayon. 1443 is the page, chapter 11 in the Sefer on page 1443 of Revelation. And there was given me a reed like unto a rod, and the angel stood saying, Rise and measure the temple of Yahuwah, and the altar, and them that worship therein. But the court which is without the temple leave out and measure it not, for it's given unto the other people, and the holy city shall they tread under foot 42 months. And I will give power unto my 2 witnesses, and they shall prophesy 1,260 days clothed in sackcloth. These are the 2 olive trees and the 2 menorahs standing before the Yah of the earth. And if any man will hurt them, fire proceeds out of the mouth and devours their enemies. And if any man will hurt them, he must in this manner be killed. These have power to shut heaven, that it rain not in the days of their prophecy, and have power over waters to turn them to blood, and to smite the earth with all plagues as often as they will. And when they shall have finished their testimony, the beast that ascends out of the bottomless pit shall make war against them, and shall overcome them, and kill them. And their dead bodies shall lie in the streets of the great city, which spiritually is called Sedom and Mitzrayim, where also our Adonai was crucified. And they of the people and kindreds and tongues and nations shall see their dead bodies 3 days and a half, and shall not suffer their dead bodies to be put in graves. And they that dwell upon the earth shall rejoice over them, and make merry, and shall send gifts one to another, because these 2 prophets tormented them that dwell on the earth. And after 3 days and a half, the Ruach of life from Yahuwah entered into them, and they stood up on their feet, and great fear fell upon them which saw them. And they heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, Come up hither. And they ascended up to heaven in a cloud, and their enemies beheld them. And the same hour was there a great earthquake. And the 10th part of the city fell, and in the earthquake were slain of men 7,000. And the remnant were frightened, and gave glory to the Yah of heaven. The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe comes quickly. And the 7th angel sounded, and there were great voices in heaven, saying, The kingdoms of this world are become the kingdoms of our Adonai and of his Mashiach. And he shall reign forever and ever. And the 24 elders which sat before Yahuwah on their seats fell upon their faces, and worshipped Yah, saying, We give you thanks, O Yahuwah Elohim Sevaot, which are, and was, and are to come, because you have taken to you your great power, and have reigned. And the nations were angry, and your wrath is come, and the time of the dead, that they should be judged, and that you should give reward unto your servants the prophets, and to the Kodeshayim, and them that fear your name, small and great, and should destroy them which destroy the earth. And the temple of Yahuwah was opened in heaven, and there was seen in the temple the ark of the covenant. And there were lightnings and voices and thunderings and an earthquake and a great hail. And there appeared a great wonder in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun, and the moon under her feet, and upon her head a crown of 12 stars. And she, being with child, cried, travailing in birth, and pained to be delivered. And there appeared another wonder in heaven. And behold, a great red dragon, having 7 heads, and 10 horns, and 7 crowns upon his heads. And his tail drew the 3rd part of the stars of heaven, and did cast them to the earth. And the dragon stood before the woman, which was ready to be delivered, for to devour her child as soon as it was born. And she brought forth a man-child, who was to rule all nations with a rod of iron. And her child was caught up unto Yahuwah, and to his throne. And the woman fled into the wilderness, where she has a place prepared of Yah, that they should feed her there 1,260 days. And there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought and his angels, and prevailed not. Neither was their place found any more in heaven. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceives the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now is come Yehusha, and strength, and the kingdom of our Yah, and the power of his Mashiach. For the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused them before our Yah day and night. And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony, and they loved not their lives unto the death. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knows that he has but a short time. And when the dragon saw that he was cast unto the earth, he persecuted the woman which brought forth the man-child. And to the woman were given 2 wings of a great eagle, that she might fly into the wilderness, into her place, where she is nourished for a time, and times, and half a time, from the face of the serpent. And the serpent cast out of his mouth water, as a flood, after the woman, that he might cause her to be carried away of the flood. And the earth helped the woman. And the earth opened her mouth and swallowed up the flood, which the dragon cast out of his mouth. And the dragon was wroth with the woman, and went to make war with the remnant of her seed, which guard the commandments of Yahuwah, and have the testimony of Yehusha HaMashiach. And I stood upon the sand of the sea, and I saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his heads the name of blasphemy. And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, and his feet were as the feet of a bear, and his mouth as the mouth of a lion. And the dragon gave him his power and his seat and great authority. And I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death. And his deadly wound was healed, and all the world wondered after the beast. And they worshipped the dragon, which gave power unto the beast. And they worshipped the beast, saying, who is like unto the beast? Who is able to make war with him? And there was given unto him a mouth, speaking great things and blasphemies. And power was given unto him to continue 42 months. And he opened his mouth in blasphemy against Yahuwah, to blaspheme his name and his tabernacle and them that dwell in heaven. And it was given unto him to make war with the Kodeshim, and to overcome them. And power was given him over all kindreds and tongues and nations. And all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him. I want to repeat that. And all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him, whose names are not written in the Sefer of life of the Lamb, slain from the foundation of the world. If any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leads into captivity shall go into captivity. He that kills with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the Kodeshim. And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had 2 horns like a lamb, and he spoke as a dragon. And he exercises all the power of the first beast before him, and causes the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. And he does great wonders, so that he makes fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men, and deceives them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles, which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast, which had the wound by a sword, and did live. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. And he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that has understanding calculate the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is this figure right here. And I looked, and lo, a lamb stood on Mount Sion, and with him 144,000, having his father's name written in their foreheads. And I heard a voice from heaven, as the voice of many waters, and as the voice of a great thunder. And I heard the voice of harpers harping with their harps, and they sung it, were as it were a new song before the throne and before the four living creatures and the elders. And no man could learn the song but the 144,000 which were redeemed from the earth. These are they which were not defiled with women, for they are virgins. These are they which follow the Lamb whithersoever he goes. These were redeemed from among men, being the first fruits unto Yehusha and to the Lamb. And in their mouth was found no guile, for they are without fault before the throne of Yehusha. And I saw another angel fly in the midst of heaven, having the everlasting Besorah, to preach unto them that dwell on the earth, and to every nation and kindred and tongue and people, saying with a loud voice, Fear Yehusha and give glory to him, for the hour of his judgment is come. And worship him that made heaven and earth, and the sea and the fountains of waters. And there followed another angel, saying, Babel is fallen, that great city, because she made all nations drink of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, If any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of Yehusha, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. And the smoke of their torment ascends up forever and ever, and they have no rest day nor night who worship the beast and his image, and whosoever receives the mark of his name. Here is the patience of the Kodeshayim. Here are they that guard the commandments of Yehusha and the faith of Yehusha. And I heard a voice from heaven saying unto me, Write, Blessed are the dead which die in Yehusha from henceforth. Yea, says the Ruach, that they may rest from their labors, and their works do follow them. And I looked, and I behold a white cloud. And upon the cloud sat one like unto the son of Adam, having on his head a golden crown, and in his hand a sharp sickle. And another angel came out of the temple, crying with a loud voice to him that sat on the cloud, Thrust in your sickle, and reap. For the time is come for you to reap, for the harvest of the earth is ripe. And he that sat on the cloud thrust in his sickle on the earth, and the earth was reaped. And another angel came out of the temple which is in heaven. He also having a sharp sickle. And another angel came out from the altar, which had power over fire, and cried with a loud voice to him that had the sharp sickle, saying, Thrust in your sharp sickle, and gather the clusters of the vine of the earth, for her grapes are fully ripe. And the angel thrust in his sickle into the earth, and gathered the vine of the earth, and cast it into the great winepress of the wrath of Yehusha. And the winepress was trodden without the city, and blood came out of the winepress, even unto the horse bridles, by the space of 1,600 stadium. And I saw another sign in heaven, great and marvelous. 7 angels having the 7 last plagues. For in them is filled up the wrath of Yehusha. And I saw as it were a sea of glass mingled with fire, and them that had gotten the victory over the beast and over his image and over his mark and over the number of his name stand on the sea of glass having the harps of Yehusha, and they sing the song of Moshe, the servant of Yehusha, and the song of the Lamb, saying, Great and marvelous are your works, Yahuwah Elohim Sevaot. Just and true are your ways, King of the Kodeshim. Who shall not fear you, O Yahuwah, and glorify your name, for you only are holy. For all nations shall come and worship before you, for your judgments are made manifest. And after that I looked, and behold, the temple of the tabernacle of the testimony in heaven was opened. And the 7 angels came out of the temple, having the 7 plagues, clothed in pure and white linen, and having their breasts girded with golden girdles. And one of the 4 living creatures gave unto the 7 angels 7 golden vials full of the wrath of Yahuwah, who lives forever and ever. And the temple was filled with smoke from the glory of Yahuwah and from his power. And no man was able to enter into the temple till the 7 plagues of the 7 angels were fulfilled. And I heard a great voice out of the temple saying to the 7 angels, Go your ways, and pour out the vials of the wrath of Yahuwah upon the earth. And the first one poured out his vial upon the earth. And there fell a noisome and grievous sore upon the men which had the mark of the beast, and upon them which worshipped his image. And the second angel poured out his vial upon the sea, and it became as the blood of a dead man. And every living soul died in the sea. And the third angel poured out his vial upon the rivers and fountains of waters, and they became blood. And I heard the angel of waters say, You are righteous, O Yahuwah, which are and was and shall be, because you have judged thus. For they have shed the blood of Kodeshim and prophets, and you have given them blood to drink, for they are worthy. And I heard another out of the altar say, Even so, Yahuwah Elohim Sevaot, true and righteous are your judgments. And the 4th angel poured out his vial upon the sun. And power was given unto him to scorch men with fire. And men were scorched with great heat, and blasphemed the name of Yahuwah, which has power over these plagues. And they repented not to give him glory. And the 5th angel poured out his vial upon the seat of the beast, and his kingdom was full of darkness. And they gnawed their tongues for pain, and blasphemed the Yahuwah of heaven, because their pains and their sores, and repented not of their deeds. And the 6th angel poured out his vial upon the great river Parath, and the water thereof was dried up, that the way of the kings of the east might be prepared. And I saw 3 unclean ruachot like frogs come out of the mouth of the dragon, and out of the mouth of the beast, and out of the mouth of the false prophet. For they are the ruachot of devils, working miracles, which go forth unto the kings of the earth and of the whole world, to gather them to the battle of that great day of Yahuwah Sevaot. Behold, I come as a thief. Blessed is he that watches and guards his garments, lest he walk naked and they see his shame. And he gathered them together into a place called in the ivory tongue Armageddon. And the 7th angel poured out his vial into the air, and there came a great voice out of the temple in heaven from the throne, saying, It is done. And there were voices and thunders and lightnings, and there was a great earthquake, such as was not since men were upon the earth, so mighty an earthquake, and so great. And the city was divided into 3 parts, and the cities of the nations fell, And great Babel came in remembrance before Yehusha to give unto her the cup of the wine of the fierceness of his wrath. And every island fled away, and the mountains were not found, and there fell upon men a great hail of heaven, out of heaven, every stone about the weight of a talent. And men blasphemed Yah because of the plague of the hail, for the plague thereof was exceeding great. And there came one of the seven angels which had the seven vials, and talked with me, saying unto me, Come hither, I will show you the judgment of the great whore that sits upon many waters, with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication. So he carried me away in the rock into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns. And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand, full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication. And upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery, Babel the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. And I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the Kodeshim, and with the blood of the martyrs of Yehusha. And when I saw her, I wondered with great admiration. And the angel said unto me, Wherefore did you marvel? I will tell you the mystery of the woman, and of the beast that carries her, which has the 7 heads and 10 horns. The beast that you saw was, and is not, and shall ascend out of the bottomless pit and go into perdition. And they that dwell on the earth shall wonder, whose names were not written in the Sefer of life from the foundation of the world, when they behold the beast that was, and is not, and yet is. And here is the mind which has wisdom. The 7 heads are 7 mountains on which the woman sits. And there are 7 kings. 5 are fallen, and 1 is, and the other is not yet come. And when he comes, he must continue a short space. And the beast that was and is not, even he is the 8th, and is of the 7, and goes into perdition. And the 10 horns which you saw are 10 kings, which have received no kingdom as yet, but received power as kings 1 hour with the beast. These have one mind, and shall give their power and strength unto the beast. They shall make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb shall overcome them, for he is Adonai of Adonaim, the King of kings. And they that are with him are called and chosen and faithful. And he said unto me, The waters which you saw where the whore sits are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues. And the 10 horns which you saw upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh, and burn her with fire. For Yahuwah has put in their hearts to fulfill his will, and to agree and give their kingdom unto the beast, until the word